people? It's your boy Brandon Bravon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. Alright, let's get down to business, alright? Cut it off, cut it off, cut it all the way off. Okay. Anyway, I will introduce myself again as I normally do. My name is Brandon Bravon Towns, the host of Sports Plus Life, my podcast. So if you are not a member, if you are a first-time listener, please hit that subscribe button and holla at your boy. As I do this at least twice a week. Sometimes I'll surprise with 3. It's definitely something that I would like to have more subscribers tune into. And just let me know if you agree or if you disagree with my take on such subjects. Feel free to leave your comments as well. And, we can get into it. I mean, today is Saturday, February 2nd, 2019. And we are one day. This is the day before the Super Bowl. So that's definitely going to be a topic of discussion. And I do hope everybody is having a wonderful Saturday out there. Of course, I'm just here chilling in the Richmond, VA. Just chilling, Just want to talk about these issues, talk about these opinions and facts and so on and so forth. So definitely, we don't have to BS around about it now. So let's get to it. All right. First order of business, of course, is Super Bowl 53. I'm not going to discuss this as much as you may think. I may go 10 minutes on it. I may not, to be honest with you. Because I've said pretty much most of what I've wanted to say in regards to the Super Bowl. I'm going with the Rams to beat the Patriots. Now, historically, in the previous 8 Super Bowl games that Tom Brady and the Patriots have been a part of, they are always great games. I can't take that away from the Patriots. They play great edge-of-your-seat Super Bowl games. All the way up from the first one back in 2001, which happened to be against the Rams, the then St. Louis Rams, when Adam Vinatieri kicked the field goal at the buzzer to win, and what was the beginning of the Brady-Belichick or Belichick-Brady era, however you want to put it. But this, for one, I think is utterly hilarious. How now the Patriots are a favorite to win this game when it's crazy because, 3 weeks ago when they had their first game against the Chargers, everybody was pretty much, including myself, ready for them to just hit the door, bye, go home, your era is over. And to their credit, they have shut me and a lot of other people up. But now everybody is truly jumped back on the bandwagon, so to speak, in regards to the New England Patriots, saying, oh, how can we go against Brady? How can we go against Brady? How can I bet against the GOAT? This is his 9th Super Bowl and 3rd straight. And how can I go against Belichick, the greatest coach-quarterback combination of all time? And that may very well be. But, it's crazy because you were hearing the same things last year. You were hearing the exact same thing last year. How can you go against the Patriots? And they're saying it this year. The inexperience of Jared Goff and the experience of Tom Brady and the genius that is Bill Belichick. And Sean McVay is too young. And I'm pretty sure Belichick will figure out Wade Phillips' defense. And because the Patriots are America's team and Tom Brady has the supermodel wife and Bill Belichick, while he can be a surly old fart, he's just most geniuses are. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, last year, as I said on the last show, Nick Foles was not seen as experience. Now, he had been to one playoff game back in 2013, but Nick Foles was seen as a backup, and Nick Foles last year, and what was like I said, Patriots play exciting Super Bowls. It was a shootout. but he outplayed Tom Brady, who actually threw for over 500 yards. But Nick Foles had 3 touchdown passes, and he caught a touchdown pass. But coming into that game, you know, it was the big difference was going to be made at the quarterback position. And, of course, now nobody knew that Bill Belichick was going to bench Malcolm Butler before the game, which I thought was just crazy. But the fact of the matter is he did, and a lot of people who, a lot of Patriots fans will say, well, that's the reason why we lost. No, it isn't. You didn't lose because Malcolm Butler didn't play. You lost because the Eagles were a better team, top to bottom. From beginning to end, top to bottom, man to man, player to player, the Eagles were a better team. And that's the same thing. That's the same way I feel about this year. From roster top to bottom, the Rams are a better team. Am I going to sit here and say Jared Goff is better than Tom Brady? No, I'm not saying anything that stupid. But Jared Goff's supporting cast is way better than Tom Brady's. Okay? Their defense is way more talented than the New England Patriots. So I understand why people are kind of drinking the Kool-Aid, because the Patriots have, quote unquote, proven everybody wrong up to this point. Like I said, they've shut me up. But I'm going to be honest with you. Same thing I said last year when they played Philly. Man to man, top to bottom, the Los Angeles Rams have a better team. Now, of course, they have to play like it. You don't win Super Bowls on paper. I mean, just like 18 years ago, the Rams were a better team on paper then as well. But that defense that the Patriots had for their first Super Bowl run was something special. Now, it wasn't 85 Bears or 2000 Ravens or 02 Bucks or 15 Broncos. It wasn't that defense, but it was a very opportunistic defense, and the rules were, even back in 2001, were way more physical. You go and watch that game and look at some of them hits that Kurt Warner took. Even that would not fly on Jared Goff, not with these rules for the quarterback. And Jared Goff ain't Cam Newton. He ain't Cam Newton. He ain't Lamar Jackson, or even Ben Roethlisberger. So like top to bottom, the Rams are a better team. Now, I will say this. Of course, for the Rams to take care of business, what they have to do is, of course, everybody knows Tom Brady's kryptonite is a front four that can rush the passer. Well, Dante Fowler and Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald, Michael Brockers, please stand up. Because of Wade Phillips' defense is most effective when your front four can get at the quarterback, or particularly when your defensive backfield can cover man-to-man. Now, we all know Tom Brady is letting the ball go within 2.5 seconds. He's dinking and dunking. So, one, if he's going to dink and dunk, okay, first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to tackle. Okay, you're going to have to put a spy on James White. You can't allow a bunch of yards after the catch. Or you clip the receiver and you make Tom Brady hold on to the ball maybe about 4 seconds, and then you get after him. One or the other, and that's something that the Rams have the personnel to do, because this is the healthiest their defense has been all season. Aqib Talib being back has been such a big difference. Like I said, Marcus Peters is more of a gambler, but, he can cover. He's earned, he's made the Pro Bowl a couple of times, and he's earned it. And everybody's focusing on Nickel Roby-Coleman, half of it because of the penalty the penalty that was not called in the NFC Championship game. And then the comment about Tom Brady slowing down with age. I mean, tomato. But my thing is, what I haven't heard anybody mention yet, because, Roby-Coleman is their slot receiver. Talib can guard the slot too, but, Roby-Coleman is their slot receiver. What I haven't heard anybody say, and I think you will see it, will be Sam Shields. Sam Shields, the former Pro Bowl cornerback, who has a Super Bowl title with the Green Bay Packers. He's a very good cover cornerback, and he's a very good cover cornerback. and he can play the slot. So, Wade Phillips and his defense has all the requisite tools that can slow down this New England offense. I mean, because I think New England is going to try to ground and pound, and Well, that was at one point an Achilles heel for the Rams defense. But let's talk about what's happened in the playoffs. They held Ezekiel Elliott to 47 yards. They shut down Ingram and Kamara running. They had a tough time with Kamara coming out the backfield. That's why they need to put a spy on James White, because they're going to try to do the same thing. But they've held the opposing team's running game in check. Now, as far as the Rams' offense is concerned, people are wondering, is Todd Gurley healthy? What's going on? I mean, even if he wasn't healthy in that conference championship game, he's had 2 weeks now. So I'm pretty sure he'll be about the percentage of what he was in their first playoff game against Dallas, which equated to over 100 yards and a touchdown. Then you have C.J. Anderson. So I can definitely, if you want to take the pressure, per se, off of Jared Goff, control the line of scrimmage, control the trenches. Todd Gurley and C.J. Anderson tote the rock. Keep the ball out of Tom Brady's hands. I honestly, I'm not trying to be funny. I honestly do not think that this is going to be, I don't think this is going to come down to the wire like all of the other Patriots Super Bowls, which, is great for TV because, like I said, all the New England Super Bowls keep you on the edge of your seat. I just don't see it happening with this one. I see the Rams winning by at least 2 possessions. I'm not going to give a score. I don't do that. I just have the Rams winning 2 possessions is 9 points or better. It's winning at least by 9 points. So I have the Rams winning at least by 9 points, which is 2 possessions. And who do I have being the MVP? I don't know. I could take a guess. I don't know. I guess I can go out on a limb. I'll say the MVP is going to be Todd Gurley. Yeah. If I had a second pick, I'd say the MVP is going to be, all right, top 3 picks for MVP from the Rams. Okay. I'll say Todd Gurley and Ndamukong Suh, because I think that Belichick is going to do everything he can to take Aaron Donald out the game. And if I had a third choice, Jared Goff. So there. I know that's not going, really out on a limb, but, these games take on lives of their own. For all we know, the MVP could be a safety or a linebacker. I don't think you're gonna see I don't know the last time you've seen a wide receivers MVP. I think maybe it was Deion Branch, who was the MVP in Super Bowl 36 when the Patriots beat the Eagles. I think he was the last wide receiver to win an MVP. I could be wrong. I'm going strictly off muscle memory with that. But it'll be a great game. I believe Maroon 5 is doing the halftime show. Is that right? Is it Maroon 5 doing the halftime show? Maroon 5, and then also featuring Big Boy and Travis Scott. So, now that I've touched on the situation of the Super Bowl, I will direct my attention to the NBA trade talks. The NBA trade talks that, again, have been going on. 5 days. Deadline is February 7th. And as a Laker fan, I'm going to say this again. I hope and pray the Pelicans don't bite and don't trade Anthony Davis. I really do, because to me, the Lakers are giving up too much. It's a bad move. This is the latest offer that the Lakers have done for Anthony Davis, have, offered this Pelicans for Anthony Davis. Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Rajon Rondo, Michael Beasley, and a first-round pick. Too much. No, I'm sorry. It's just too much. You need to take Lonzo Ball out of that trade. Take especially Kyle Kuzma out of that trade. You know what? If you hell bent on getting Anthony Davis, this is the most that I'm going. If I'm Magic Johnson, Brandon Ingram, Zubac, maybe Rondo. Brandon Ingram, Zubac, Beasley, and a draft pick. That's it. That's it. Or 2 draft picks. That's it. I'm not getting rid of Lonzo Ball. I'm not getting rid of Kyle Kuzma. I'm not getting rid of Rondo right now because Lonzo is out at least for another month. I'm not doing that. That's just dumb. Like I said, Anthony Davis has top 5 statistics. Yes, he does. But that does not make you a top 5 player. It just does not. A top 5 player is a player that makes those around him better. Like I said, Kevin Love had top 5 statistics when he was with the Timberwolves. Where did they go? Did that make Kevin Love a top 5 player? No, it made him an all-star. You know, but you weren't building a championship team around Kevin Love. You couldn't. You couldn't. Just like Anthony Davis. The Pelicans have talent. They have definitely underperformed this season, particularly off of going to the second round of the playoffs last year for the first time in the Anthony Davis era. But they've underachieved. And this is why they're trying to get Anthony Davis with LeBron, because I think it's being seen now. Some people like to put it on the Pelicans, saying, well, they didn't put the talent around or the coaching, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. Anthony Davis ain't leading you to no chip. I'm not trading damn near my whole starting lineup for Anthony Davis. I would for Kevin Durant. If we're talking Kevin Durant, that's a whole different story.
What about the wiener?
That's a whole different story. I would say I would make that kind of trade. I would even make that kind of a trade right now for Paul George. Of course, that's not going to happen because he just re-signed a max deal with Oklahoma City. But I'm saying this because Paul George this season has been a top 5 player. He's an MVP candidate. He's the best defender in the NBA. He's the best player on the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's not Russell Westbrook anymore. It's Paul George. And he's made that team better. That's the type of guy I want. Now, I would love for Anthony Davis, again, like I said last show, I would love for AD to be a Laker. I sure would, but not at this expense. For all of that, I can just wait till free agency after the 2020 season and see how bad Anthony Davis wants to be a Laker then. Then, come on. I mean, think about it. You could have Anthony Davis after next season and still have Lonzo and Kuzma and Ingram. You could still have all of that and then gain a player. I mean, because it doesn't look like, for one, it doesn't look like it's set in stone. That's why they need to let these players grow, because it doesn't look like it's set in stone that you're going to land Kawhi Leonard or Klay Thompson after this season is over with. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Kawhi stayed in Toronto. He's got them, Kawhi Leonard is another player, makes teammates better. You're looking at potential NBA Finals appearance for the Toronto Raptors with this guy leading the way. And as far as Klay Thompson is concerned, if I'm Klay Thompson, why would I leave Golden State? Why? I mean, of course, everybody knows your dad was a part of the Showtime Lakers, won a couple championships, and, he bleeds purple and gold. I mean, but I repeat, why would you leave Golden State? Why would you even think about getting out of that situation where you could mess around and have, not exaggerating, you could mess around and have anywhere from 6 to 7, maybe even 8 championships. 8 may be stretching it a little bit, but I don't think 6 to 7 is, because after, and I'm not saying if, after they win the championship this year, that'll be 4. And they're all still young. Now they're saying, they're pretty much saying it's a foregone conclusion that Kevin Durant is going to leave. But you know what I'm saying? You deal with that when that comes. If I was Kevin Durant, I wouldn't go anywhere. If I was Boogie Cousins, I wouldn't go anywhere. I mean, these guys in the prime of their career. Steph Curry is only 30. Kevin Durant is 30. Klay Thompson is 28. Draymond Green is 27. Boogie Cousins is 27. I ain't breaking that up. But, I mean, of course, everybody, all players are different. I mean, if Kevin Durant left and went to New York, per se, I mean, it is what it is. But, like I said before, the one thing that I respect so much about when it comes to the Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs is that they draft their players and mold them. Player development is awesome, and it turned them into champions. Like I said before, you can say they have Kevin Durant and Boogie Cousins now, but their first two, their 2015 championship team and their 73-win team the next year in 2016, their starting lineup had 4 guys that were all drafted by them: Steph, Klay, Draymond, and Harrison Barnes. So everybody wants to build this super team. Yeah, you can call Golden State a super team now. But 3 of those players in that starting lineup became super with that organization. So, I mean, I don't see what the problem is, and that's what I think the Lakers need to do. Now, is Lonzo Ball ever going to shoot like Steph Curry? No. But can he be an all-star? Can he be possibly the best point guard in the league one day? Yeah. I think Kuzma is already an all-star. Can Brandon Ingram be an all-star or / solid player who'll give you about 18, 19 a game? He's doing that now. And these guys can only get better. So I'm saying, why trade that away? And all of these guys are younger than Anthony Davis. And Anthony Davis is only 25 years old. But, you're doing this to try to satisfy LeBron because this has his fingerprints all over it. You're doing this to try to satisfy LeBron. LeBron has a 4-year deal. Well, I guess 3.5 years now. But you get AD, you trade away all of these guys, and let's just say you don't land another max player in free agency this year or next. Then what? When you can simply just wait it out, since Anthony Davis wants to be a Laker so bad, you can just wait it out until the end of the 2020 season, have him come to free agency. LeBron will still have 2 years left, and then the other players, the younger players, will be another year better, more experience. I mean, that just and it's not gonna cost, and it saves you money. And if these younger players get better and more experience with time, then reward them with the max contract when it's their turn. That way you drafted them, you molded them, you player developed them. That just makes sense to me. I'm just putting myself in a general manager's shoes. Now, like I said, if the New Orleans Pelicans don't trade Anthony Davis, a lot of that will be out of spite coming from other owners and other GMs who are pretty much sick and tired of players trying to force their way out of a contract that they've already signed. You're a free agent. You do what the hell you want to do. But with a player trying to big boy his way out off of a team because he don't want to be there no more, so now all of a sudden I want to force a trade. I don't want to honor my contract. So that's, if any reason, why I see the Pelicans keeping Anthony Davis, because, if you're a GM, if you're an owner, you're going to say, okay, wait a minute, hold up, all right. Who the hell do you think you are? LeBron James got y'all fucked up as far as me thinking I can do whatever I want while I'm under contract. Free agent is exactly what it is. Free agent. You are free of a contract, which means you can go to any one of the NBA teams you want. But while you are still under contract, now all of a sudden, because you hire an agent, that is the agent of LeBron James. Now all of a sudden, I want out of New Orleans. I'm not happy here anymore. This is 2 years after you signed a over $100 million contract, and I only want to go to the Lakers. So you're trying to force your hand. But, you know, if I was a general manager, I wouldn't even get mad. I'd be like, all right, well, you become a Laker in 2020. I'm glad you want to play for the Lakers. You go ahead and play for them in 2020 because I ain't trading you. I ain't trading you. That's what I'd say is if I'm a GM, I'd be like, now go back to LeBron and tell him that. Tell him look forward to having you as a teammate in 2020 after you have completed your obligations of your contract with the New Orleans Pelicans. Thank you. Have a good day. Take your motherfucking ass to practice. That's exactly how I'd carry it. Or go ahead and pull a Kawhi Leonard and sit out. Whatever. But guess who won't be a Laker or any other freaking team, or guess who won't be a Laker or a Knick or a Celtic or a Hawk? It ain't going to be you. That brow is staying right on Bourbon Street in the smoothie capital until 2020. And like I said, I'm a Laker fan, but this is just too much to give up for one guy who is not a guy who makes teammates around him better. No. Like I said, I'd give up that amount of money for Kevin Durant. I'd give up that amount for LeBron James. Wouldn't do it for Anthony Davis. Wouldn't do it for Anthony Davis. Wouldn't do it for James Harden. You know, I just wouldn't. I'd do it for Paul George. I sure would. I'm on the fence about Russell Westbrook. 2 years ago, I'd say, hell yeah. I'm a little on the fence now. But he's still a great player. But I just wanted to touch on that situation as well. So the last thing I will discuss is NCAA basketball. There was and the only reason why is because there was a game today. Virginia Tech played NC State, and this was men's Division I college basketball, and Virginia Tech won 47-24. The Wolfpack are the 23rd ranked team in the country. They scored 24 points in a game, not a half. They scored 24 points. And I'm not tooting Virginia Tech's horn either because they just scored 47. But when you score 47 points and you beat a team by 23 points, what the hell? Are you serious right now? Like, really? Okay. I mean, good job, Virginia Tech. You're now 18-3. The Duke Blue Devils, number 2 team in the country, they blew out St. John's. The Virginia Cavaliers, number 3 team in the country, they beat who did they beat? Miami today. They beat Miami, and they're now 20-1. The number 1 seed Tennessee Volunteers play tonight at 8. Like I said, we're a month away. It's a month left in the regular season for college basketball. I don't know if I've told you guys before. I love March Madness. That is one of the things that I look forward to most early in the year is March Madness. And the number 4 seed Gonzaga Bulldogs, they play tonight. And Michigan State plays Indiana tonight. Indiana's been a very disappointing team this year, just 12-9. Honestly, Indiana really hasn't been the same since Oladipo left, and that was a couple years ago. It's good to see mid-majors in the top 10, like Nevada. They're number 8, and North Carolina did win today as well, number 9. They beat number 15 Louisville. That game actually just ended. They beat Louisville by 10 points. And So yes, college basketball is in the thick of things. I don't hear much about my VCU Rams. Like I said, I support Virginia basketball team. As a kid, I was a huge Cavaliers fan, and I've always been a Cavaliers fan. Um, was more or less so familiar with Virginia Tech when it came to football. Um, and I started really paying attention to VCU around when I was in like seventh grade. Yeah, around like seventh grade. So, and of course, I was a huge Eric Maynard and Larry Sanders fan. So I keep up with my VA's basketball as well as football. I keep up with my VA college sports. But the Rams, uh, you know, it's like they're in rebuild mode. Come back, Shaka, please. Please come back, Shaka. Leave Texas alone. You just lost today. You lost to the number 20 Iowa State Hawkeyes. Cyclones. Iowa is the Hawkeyes. Anyway, with that being said, there is a title fight tonight. It's on ESPN Plus, but I ain't gonna see it. I'm not ordering that. Like, it's really a stream site. You know, it needs to be on ESPN. Lomachenko versus his name is Alvarez. It's a rematch. This guy knocked Lomachenko out. It was a fight on HBO. Of course, HBO is no longer in the boxing business. So that's all the boxing I have to discuss for now, because boxing is definitely going to heat up. But with that being said, what a buzzer, what a buzzer, what a buzzer! All right. In the life segment, I don't really have much to talk about. I'm almost finished with my mixtape. It's called All Around. I was listening to it last night, and it's pretty good. I wanna put a couple of more tracks on it. It's very good. It's something that you could definitely play from start to finish. Of course, it is a blend of hip hop mixed with R&B. You know, how people could say, well, this is just another version of R&B crunk. Yeah, but no. I have, stories to tell. In a couple of my songs, I'm telling stories. Telling stories of things that's happened with my life within the past year or so. This project has taken longer than I usually do when it comes to music. R&B Crunk 1 is still my favorite up to this point. R&B Crunk 2, I rock with that a lot too. But I think this is gonna be good. I will say this. I was aspiring for the longest time to just be a performer and entertain an artist. While I haven't lost my love for music, I just really don't. I'm not necessarily hooked on that. I just more or less I make music. Well, I want to make this music because I want to finish this project. But now I'm really just making music, just for the fun of it. I'll help anybody else any way that they can. I'll still love to do collabs and things like that. But honestly, the toughest thing about being an entertainer is getting people to listen and to pay attention. It is, because everybody, especially nowadays, are trying to do the same thing. They're trying to do the same thing, and they're trying to achieve it via social media, via YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat or, and, it's when you realize what you're meant to do, and some people don't figure that out till really late in the game. When you realize what you're really meant to do, the hardest thing is staying on track and staying committed and disciplined, to achieve it. Because I will say this, and I guess my message today for life is whatever, when you know who you are and what you were meant to do, you know, go for it. You know, as much as I love music, I'll always say, actually, I like acting better. I like acting better because, it's challenging, to become not reality TV, because while to me that's a form of acting, but it's as a lazy way. It's, I mean, it's just, it's not like when I was a kid and you had sitcoms and, things like that. That's why I love Empire. That's why I love Power. You know what I mean? That's why I love stuff like that. You know, I'm not watching all of these competitions of, you know, who wants to be the next best ass kisser in America, or, you know, who wants to be America's next top dog walker, and all of that bullshit. I mean, I don't have nothing against them, but it's just like, everything, everything now is just, I guess, the world, or America at least, loves competition. That's why everything now is, I mean, that's why I love sports, because I love competition. And, I think people see the resounding effect that sports, that sports has on the world. So I think the entertainment industry, outside of all the dummy reality shows, are trying to make everything into a competition, like The Masked Singer. And it started, I mean, even, and it's a competition about anything. And that's something to me that started way back in '06 with Flavor of Love and shows like that. But like I said, because I kind of veered off topic, when you realize what you want to be, just don't lose focus, don't lose the drive. See, it kind of, it's kind of tough with me, because I feel like I can do anything when it comes to the entertainment industry. I really do. I feel like I can do anything. I don't sing, I can't sing like I used to because of my own self-inflicted wounds with not being able to put down the Middletons, the old Black and Miles. But I still make great music. Actually, I didn't used to be a rapper, but I think I can spit. I ain't gonna sit here and say I'm top 5 dead or alive. I'm might be top 5 in my house or top 5 in my neighborhood. But if it's one, I love music, I love acting, and I love sports. That's why the show is called Sports Plus Life. It's what I'm good at. And that's the most frustrating thing for me, is because what I'm good at, the things that I do best, I'm not getting paid for it yet. And that can be discouraging, but don't let it discourage you. Keep grinding. Keep grinding. You know, I really don't even listen to half of the music that's out. I make these mix CDs just because, to ride in the car. I mean, but I know that, the Sunflower, I know that Post Malone and Sway Lee have the #1 hip hop song right now. The Post Malone and old boy from Ray Shrummer. But yeah, I just wanted to, I guess, give that motivational pep talk. Once you figure out what you're gonna do, I'm an entertainer, and what I'm just trying to figure out is, how can I do what I do best? And honestly, if this podcast blew up, and I had over 100,000 listeners each time I did a podcast, I'd be perfectly satisfied, because then I know that can open doors to other things. Because if I have over 100,000 people listening to my podcast, that means, should I decide to drop a song just for fun, I'm going to have 100,000 people listening to that too. And that's going to open the doors. All you just need is that one little bit of opportunity. And once you show what you got, and people know people know what you're worth, you know what I'm saying? Then, the floodgates are open for you. But I will say this, I ain't selling my soul for shit. That's the beginning and the end of that. But yeah. Just maintain and stay focused on your goals. There will always be hurdles. There will always be bumps in the road. It's life. Nothing is gonna be perfect. I would be worried if it was so easy. Sometimes it gets, so I would be worried if it gets so easy. I just don't want it to be overwhelmingly hard, or you just don't make it overwhelmingly hard, because that's when some people start to give up, But it just be a test though. It'd be a test. So anyway, it's your boy Brandon Bravon Towns, with another episode of Sports Plus Life. I'm definitely going to hit you guys up on Monday. I'm going to have a Monday episode after the Super Bowl. Again, if you a new listener, definitely hit that subscribe button and holla at your boy. Peace.